Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I will discuss the scanner. Basically, this is used to get input from the user. Sometimes we want to create a program wherein we allow the user to input data from the keyboard. And so this is the topic that I'm going to discuss in this video. But before that, please support the channel by clicking on the subscribe button and hit also the notification bell so that you will be notified with all the new videos that I'm going to upload in this channel. And so, like I said a while ago, sometimes we need to create a program wherein we want to allow the user to input data. So they will use their keyboard to input data, and then that data we will process. So basically, that is the purpose of the scanner here, right? So to use the scanner, you have to use this. Scanner is a class or something like a method that is available in Java. All we need to do is to just use it. So basically, this is what we need in order for us to create a program wherein we allow the user to input data. For instance, I would like the user to input a name, and then we will print that name. So we will allow the user to input the name by typing using the keyboard, and then we will just print that name. So there will be a user input. And so like I said a while ago, so we just need this, and we just have to, there you go. The bar here is your variable for your data, right? So you can use this, you can declare this once, and then you can use this variable for any data type. So it's going to be like that. So let's say, for example, I'm going to call it as data. So scanner data is equal to new scanner system.in. Now, as you can see, we have here a red line here, which means there is an error. And so what is that error? Whenever you use the scanner, you have to make sure that you use, or you have to declare the class. You've got to import the class. And so we have to have this one, import java.util.scanner. Now, sometimes we tend to forget this. So fortunately, NetBeans will help us on this by just clicking this bulb here with a red exclamation mark somewhere here. So we just have to click it, and we just have to click import or add import for Java util scanner. So once we click this, NetBeans will automatically type it for us there. Or like I said a while ago, if you know the class that you need to import, immediately you can just type it at the top of your program. So directly you can just type it like this. Or if you forgot, like I said, you just have to use that process or steps that I showed you a while ago. So it's going to be like that. So again, whenever you use scanner, you must have this one here. You have to import the scanner class. Alright, so again, this is our variable for input. Okay, so for instance, like I said, we want to input a name. Alright, so we allow the user to input a name, and we will just print that name. So I'm going to declare that variable. Let's declare it as a string. Let's say name, and then we will say system.out.println. There you go. Alright, so the next is, let's allow the user now to input a name. So all I need to do is to use next line or just next method. This data here will become an object. It will be an object actually, and then it will have these methods. It will have these methods. So let's talk about them one by one. This one, next line or next, will allow you, or will allow the user to read string value from the user. Alright, so this is what we need, the next line. So all I need to do is to use our object, which is data, our variable here. So data that next line, like that, and there you go. So I just have to, whatever I input, I will just store it to our variable, which is the name. There you go. And then we will just print that name. So I'm just going to copy this so that I'll be fast. And so it will be something like this. And so let's run. So as you can see, I am running it now. So I'm just going to type, for example, the name is Michael. Enter. I'm going to press enter. There you go. Michael is there. Right? So again, you can use next line, right? Your object and then that next line for data type string. Okay? So also you can also use next. Next will work perfectly just like next line. So let us try it. So I run again the program. So this time I'm going to say Mike. I'm going to press enter, and that's it. Mike is there. So next or next line will just be fine for string data type. All right. What about other data types? For instance, if you would like to input, or you will allow the user to input an integer value, you will just use the next int. Obviously, this one is for double data type, for boolean type, for byte type, for float type, long, short, and the character. All right. I have a video wherein it discusses the data types so that you will have an idea what are the data types. So I have here, and so you can watch that video, which is somewhere here, this one here, data types, Java data types, so that you will have an idea of what are data types, and other videos that are useful for Java beginners. Also, I have other videos that you can watch, like for example Python programming and also XML topics. I have also videos for that. You can watch those if you would like to know or learn how to create XML and process XML data. Let's go back to our topic. So here it is. For instance, I would like to, this time I would like to input integer value. So I'm going to say int, let's say age. All right. So this time I'm just going to say like this. So input or enter age. So this one I have to say int, next int, and then this variable here should be the age. There you go. So as you can see, I am using the same object data for string and for data type. You can just declare it once and you can use it for any data type. So it's like that. All right, so let us see. Let us print the value of that age. So if I run now, and there you go, it is asking me to enter a name. For instance, I'm going to say Mike, age is 20. There you go. So we just printed here line 24 and line 25, so it printed our inputs. Okay, so once you input the data, you can now use the data, like for example here, age and the name, you can input for processing. I mean, you can use it for processing. So it's going to be like that. All right, so because this data or this variable have now a value. In this case, it is 20 and the name is Mike. So obviously, you can now input data with a double data type, with a boolean type, with byte type, float type, and so on. Okay, so let's have another example. For instance, for the double, let's say allowance. There you go. So I'm just going to input an allowance. Let's say enter allowance here. I'm just going to copy like that, and this one we have to change this to, there you go, and then we will just print the allowance. And so let's run it again. So first it will ask for the name. It will ask for the age. I'm going to type 20, enter. And then allowance. Let's say the allowance is 100. Okay, press enter. And there you go. We have this output. So we just printed the data. Okay. Now as you can see, only the character type is different from the different data types. So it will be something like this. So we will just use the car at using the index 0. Index 0 means the first character. Okay, so it will only be one character. So it's something like that. So we use this method to read character from a user input. Let's say, for instance, let's have an example for that. Let's say I'm going to say car. Let's call it code. So only one character is allowed if it is car data type. So I'm just going to copy this and I'll just paste it there. And so enter code. So this one I'm just going to say here next that car at, make it 0. That means the first character. And we will just change this to code. And after that, let's just print it. Okay, so I'm going to run it again. So first again, we have to input the name, followed by the age, for instance, followed by the allowance, for instance. I'm going to input 100, press enter. Code, for example, is A, only one character. There you go. So we printed our inputs. Okay, so like I said a while ago, again, you can use this data now, these variables, because they have data now for any processing requirement by the problem or whatever requirement that you are going to solve, right? So it's going to be like that. So as you can see, it is just very simple to use these methods. So this is just how to use the scanner class in Java programming. So basically, again, the scanner is used to input or to get input from the user. I hope I was able to discuss easily how to use the scanner for your input or user input. So that will be the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching and see you on my next one.